Okay, good evening, everyone. I think we have everyone here. Can I request everyone to please switch their cameras on so that we can have a interactive session? Okay, Team A, Husna, Vashu, can you guys switch on your camera? Okay, okay, let me start. Okay, guys, a very warm welcome to all the participants, judges, and all the members who are watching us on the live stream on YouTube today from the creative team at IMA MSN Telangana. Let me quickly introduce all of you guys to the judges we have today. Okay, so we have Dr. Janvi Taneja, who is a doctor and she's an educational content creator, communication coach, and she's the founder and CEO of Speak with Janvi Taneja, and she's an ex-founder of Pious Classes.
Thank you so much, Masood. I'm actually just a brief note that also at the hospital right now. So if you don't like the background or you don't get a lot of good audio, please forgive me for that. And I'm really happy that Masood invited me for this. I am more than happy to be able to contribute something that I know about because I also have a medical background. So I think I'll be able to contribute good reviews regarding your communication skills as well as what you have to share about your medical knowledge. So really looking forward to what all you have to represent today. Very excited for that.
Thank you, Janvi ma'am. Next, we have Dr. Mohammad Sarosh Ahmed, who is Associate Professor, Community Medicine at Deccan College of Medical Sciences. He is okay.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me,
Good evening, sir. Yes.
Masood?
Yes, sir.
All right. So thank you so much for having me. Myself, Dr. Mohammed Sarosh Ahmed. Okay, I'm looking forward to witness a healthy fight, I can say, or a healthy debate. Okay, so like you see in boxing, every punch gets 1 point. So I'll be the. Thank you for making me the judge. So I'll be scoring in that way. The more punches, the more score you get. So let's have a very good session here. Thank you so much once again.
Okay, now we have Dr. Isra Abdul Mateen, who is the former creative team head at IMA MSN. She has done her MBBS from Shadan Institute of Medical Sciences, Hyderabad.
Hello, everyone. I hope I don't have to introduce myself. And being back to IMA, I'm so happy and delighted. It's like home to me. And a very personal note I would like to share because I'm with back to IMA again is that I remember the time when I was the team lead at IMA and there was COVID going on and there was so much chaos all around the world and we made peace within ourselves and we kept ourselves engaged and we tried to do whatever possible and I'm so happy to be back again. It feels home. Like I feel nostalgic, and I'm excited to see everyone. I first of all, I would like to thank everyone for considering me worthy to be over here. Very grand comeback for me, especially, and I'm so delighted to see you all. And my best wishes to all the team, and may the best team win. I am on the best side. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to all the judges for accepting our invitation and joining us here. Okay, now I would we have a few IMA members here whom I would like to introduce. We have Syed Wasif Hussain, who is the state convener at IMA MSN Telangana.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Masood. And thank you so much to the judges for joining us. We're so honored to have you here. Dr. Janvi, Dr. Saroj, Dr. Isra, it's so good to see you again. Brings back a lot of memories from the previous council. I'm so glad you could join us. And I'm looking forward to an amazing debate by our finalists.
Okay. We have the whole creative team of IMA MSN Telangana here. We have Sahiti and Surya, who are our team heads, and myself, Masood, and Vashu, who are the team coordinators.
Hello
Okay.
everyone.
Hello
Uh,
everyone and good evening. Special
okay.
thanks to the judges for joining us. Good evening everyone.
I have it, guys. Okay. Okay. Now I would like a quick introduction from all the participants. Okay. Just your name, college, and your batch. Okay. Let's start with Team A. Team A, can you guys introduce yourself one by one?
Hello everyone, this is Usna Fatima.
Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Ikra Makin and we are from 2021 batch, Deccan College of Medical Sciences.
Okay, let's move on to Team B.
Good evening, esteemed judges. My name is G. Satya Ashray. I am Jayan Jakka. We represent Mamata Medical College, Khammam, and our 21-22 batch.
Let's move on. Okay, Ashray, you have introduced yourself, right?
I did introduce myself. I'm Jayan Jakka from 2021 batch,
Okay.
21-22 batch, Mamata Medical College.
Okay, let's move on to Team C. Team C, Azlan and Masood, can you guys introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. Good evening, I'm Azlan Masir.
I'm Mohammad Abdullah Masood. We are students of Deccan College of Medical Sciences from 2021 batch.
And
okay, thank you so much. Okay, so from yesterday's prelims, you guys are aware about the debate, about the rules for this debate, but let me just read them again for you so that it's clear. Okay, the first rule is the cameras of all participants should be on at all times. Okay, you have to be respectful to each other, right? You have to whatever you're speaking, please make sure that you guys are speaking on point and you're not speaking in a lot of sentences, as we will be short on time. Okay, so please speak on point and do not interrupt when someone else is speaking, please. Are you guys clear?
yes, sir.
Okay, now for the for and against, like yesterday we had decided, right, who will be speaking for and who will be speaking for against. So let me just say that team D, which is team A now, team A was speaking for, and today you will be speaking for against. Okay.
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 Team B, Jayant and Ashray, you guys will be speaking against. Team C, Azlan and Masood, you guys will be speaking for. Okay. Okay, I would now request Saiti to take over and reveal the topic. After we reveal the topic, you guys will get 10 minutes to prepare for the topic. And then we will have, you guys will have 1 minute each participant to give your introductory statements. Thank you.
Good evening everyone and I request Surya to share the screen and share the topic for today's discussion.
Good evening guys. The topic for the finals debate on the occasion of World Population Day. It is, should governments implement strict population control policies to address overpopulation and its environmental impacts? You guys have 10 minutes. Now it's 5:47. At 5:57, we'll start the round. The topic is, should governments implement strict population control policies to address overpopulation and its environmental impacts? All the best, guys.
So while our participants prepare, I've just put up the judging criteria in the chat box. The participants and judges can go through it. So we'll be evaluating our participants based on 5 criteria, 5 marks each. So we'll be having a total of 25 marks. So we'll be judging them based on the approach and confidence, content of their speeches, eloquence and clarity, quality of questions and rebuttal, and quality of the answers and conclusions. So each point matters. How you start your speech and how you conclude your speech and your background research, everything matters. So I hope the participants are going to prepare well in these 10 minutes, make best use of it. All the best.
Okay, everyone, your time is up. Time for preparation is up. We can now start with your introductory statements. Each team will be getting 2 minutes to give their introductory statements. That is 1 minute per team member. Okay.
Just a moment. I'd like to confirm that Team A is speaking in favor, Team B is speaking against, and Team C is again speaking in favor, if I'm not wrong. Is it?
No, ma'am. Actually, team A is against. Team B is against. Team C is speaking in favor.
Okay, that's just okay. Thank you.
Okay, Saiti, we can start.
Okay, now the team A will start with their opening statement. Each person will get 1 minute, so the total entire team gets 2 minutes. So, first, I request everyone please introduce with your name and just start giving your statement. Team A, you can give your statement.
May I start?
Yeah, you can start.
So, hello everyone. I am Ifra Makeen from Deccan College of Medical Sciences. So, yes, today I will be saying in against the topic. So, yes, first and foremost, family planning decisions are deeply personal and should be left to individual and families to decide based on their own circumstances, their own beliefs, and their own values. It is a fundamental human right to make informed choices about their reproductive health and family choices and family choices without coercion or interference from external authorities. Government intrusion into such intimate decisions infringes upon individual autonomy and personal freedom. History has shown that coercive family planning measures often result in unintended consequences. Instead of effectively controlling population growth, they can lead to increased illegal abortions, demographic imbalances, and social unrest. We must learn from the past and recognize the top down authoritarian approach.
Time's up.
Try your time's up.
And the solution to it.
You can give. Okay.
Fatima has imposed family planning, but these policies have often resulted in disvalue among the people. This has resulted in many problems, which includes low income among the communities. This can exacerbate social inequality rather than elevating them. Talking about different alternatives. Instead of family planning measures, the government should try to impose many other methods which will be helpful, like improving the access to education for the poor, improving the access to healthcare for the rural people, and economic opportunities. These factors will obviously lead to reduction in the birth rate because the people will themselves realize the importance of having a shorter family. Considering about the environmental problems, while population growth is an important factor in environmental impact, critics argue that focusing solely on population control overlooks the broader issues like consumption
Yeah,
patterns.
now your time's up. You can give your last statement if you have left. Like,
In summary, I would like to conclude that government should impose other than techniques other than family planning instead of imposing family planning, which might not only help the state but also help the nation that is our country, India.
Thank you.
Okay, team A. Now we'll go with team B. So you guys are ready, team B?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So team B can start giving your opening statements. Please introduce
Yes.
yourself and go ahead.
Uh, Today, we argue against the implementation of strict population policies. So, while we acknowledge the challenges faced, we contend the coercive measures are neither effective nor ethical in achieving sustainable solutions. Instead, we advocate approaches that are respectful to individual rights, promote equitable development, and foster global cooperation. So the strict policies often overlook the complexity of interplay in the social, economic, and environmental factors influencing the population dynamics. They narrowly focus on controlling population size and this population risk violating the individual human rights. Moreover, the emphasis should be on sustainable development practices that address consumption patterns, promote renewable sources, improve resource management, innovations, and global cooperation offer promising avenues to mitigate environmental impacts without resorting to draconian population policies.
Your time is up. Just introduce yourself before you start, please.
My name is Jisati Ashray. Now I'm going to talk about the ethical implications of over strict implementation of population control. The history is impinged with many brutal episodes where the basic human rights of individuals were apprehended and affected. Now, coming to the cases like in the Nazi Germany, 4 lakh strict sterilization were the main precursor for the Holocaust. And it has many social impacts. Strict implementation of family control has many social impacts, and long-term economic sustainability can't be met with strict population. The in the world, the population the age group, highest growth rate of above 60 years is highest. The growth rate for population of age group is above 60 years is the highest. That means the elderly people are getting more older, but the population of elderly individuals is very high. So, implementing strict family planning programs now will not be the solution for long-term economic sustainability, and will have severe social impact. And education and bringing awareness about this issue is the only way to go forward,
Okay,
rather than
your
implementing
time is
draconian and strict policies.
your time is up. Okay.
Okay, team B. Now we'll go with team C. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay, you can start giving your opening statements.
Hi, I'm Azan Sharif, and we are for family planning or having policies that would promote, decreasing overpopulation. Now, first off, let's look at when we say policies or strict policies, what are we talking about? Now, Team A and B have talked about forced fertilization, prevent 1 kid, 2 kid policies. We know these don't work. When we talk about policies, we refer to 3 main factors: incentives, sexual education, and increase in social welfare. Later on, we'll be talking about more why we think these are exactly important. But the matter of the fact is, we are a global community. We are not individual families. When we talk about human rights, we need to think about how our rights affect others. We cannot sit in our homes, in our boxes, and be like, I want to have 100 kids, I will have 100 kids. As a government, as a community, we must work together. What is the easiest and best way for us to, be happy with our families while at the same time working against overpopulation? Having this
Your time
mindset of my rights, my ethics will only cause us to further fall down the trap
and
of
your time is up.
overpopulation. Thank you.
Okay, Masood, you can go ahead with your statement.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I would like to speak for the topic on how government enforcement is necessary to combat population control. First, I would like to point it out that so many of us have been telling out how the one per child policy failed in China, which is the biggest example that detractors of this policy take. But the thing is, when China implemented this policy, the person in charge was Chen Muhua, who had no health education or medical background. So she was not able to properly funnel the policy in order to benefit and look overall at the social cost data. So it was, however, successful in many Nordic countries. Even in India, states of Tamil Nadu and Kerala, which have a very low fertility rate compared to the north state. Why? Because the government properly enforced it using the incentives and necessary measures were taken so as to make sure that the policy gets successful.
Are you done?
Yes. Thank
you. Okay. Okay. So now we will be moving on to the rebuttal round. Okay. So every team will be getting 1 minute for the rebuttal statement, and the other teams can ask up to 2 questions to that team. For example, if Team C gives a rebuttal statement, Team A and B can ask up to 2 questions to them. Are you guys clear with that? You can raise your hands and we will allow you accordingly. Okay, Saidi, we can start.
For giving the rebuttal statements, we'll go in our reverse order. So first, Team C will get chance to give the rebuttal statement for 1 minute. Team C, are you guys ready for your rebuttal round?
Yeah.
Okay, then you can go ahead giving your rebuttal statement.
Masood, do you want to take this?
Good evening. My question is to Team A, which talked about how personal beliefs or personal values can be as a good argument against why government should not enforce. Will the same will be enforced if the personal value is not sharing plate cause of caste system, or you want to be racist to people? Will the same beliefs be allowed? So I believe that the government should be in charge of this, and they should be the enforcers so that everybody feels equal before the law, so that the policies get implemented. So I believe that personal belief cannot be an excuse to not follow the government. Thank you.
Can you please summarize your question, please, Masood?
You mentioned about how personal beliefs should be taken above what the government says. So what I think that personal beliefs that are they are prone to being uh, summarized that as being, if a person decides to be casteist or racist so that they don't even share their faith, that also comes in their beliefs. So should we respect that? That's why I believe that the government should be able to plan it out so that everybody feels equal. That yeah, we do. I hope you understood my question.
First of all, family planning. You meant to ask, you are comparing family planning to caste races. Am I correct? Like,
they're both personal beliefs. If they're both personal beliefs,
Yeah,
who draws the line on what personal belief should be?
me,
okay, guys, just a second. Team C, you're not supposed to ask questions now. You're supposed to give out a statement against any of the teams. Okay, and they will ask questions to your team. Okay, am I clear there? Am I
Yes,
clear? Yeah.
thank you. Got it.
I'm starting the timer again, so you
Okay.
can start.
Just before we start, Masood, just to clarify again for the judges and participant in the rebuttal round, all you have to do is, since you have heard the opening statements of each team, right? Now in the rebuttal round, you can object to all of their statements. Now just give a rebuttal statement which, denies or, neutralizes all the points that were made by them, or you can object to them. So you give your rebuttal statement, then the other teams get a chance to cross question you, okay? So you get 1 minute, you can share that time and give a rebuttal statement, and then the other teams can question you or cross question you, all right? I think that's understood.
Yes, sir.
Great, go ahead.
Okay, so one thing I want to ask the opposition is the same thing that they keep saying again and again is personal rights up to them. And absolutely, rights are important. It's the basis of a good democracy. But the issue we run into is human rights are only your right until it doesn't harm someone. We continue to become a global community day by day. Our actions do not influence only us, they influence our neighbor, they influence their neighbor, they influence our city, our country. Now, to put our heads in the sand and to say it's a personal matter, let each man do their own. What Masood earlier was mentioning was this similar, like having this mindset is a very dangerous mindset. not just for casteism, not just for racism, even for overpopulation-related policies. By leaving it to people, we endanger our country and ourselves. We should have common rules, common policies that push slowly, not with force, slowly towards the goal of reducing overpopulation. It is important to hold human rights while at the same time caring about our community and sometimes sacrificing our own happiness for the betterment of our country. Thank you.
Your time is up. Okay, team B and A, you guys can ask questions. One question per team to team C.
Uh, the team C spoke a lot about the personal rights, human rights, and how would you justify the gross abnormalities of the human rights, gross impingements of the human rights during the strict, I repeat, strict implementation of population control program in our own country during 1970s, which led to mass sterilization programs and all the basic human rights were damaged. How would you justify that the strict implementation of population control preserves the human rights which you support?
Okay, team C, you guys have to answer that.
To answer the question, I've already personally said about how in China and in the Indira Gandhi era during emergency can be compared because they were very strict. My point of the notion is real. The people in charge of health of democracy were the wrong people. That's the reason we ran into this situation. When we point the right people, for example, in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, when the fertility rate in the south is lesser than in the north, we have seen how it had borne fruit and socioeconomic indexes have improved and overall quality of life have improved.
I would like to inject one thing. Mr. Masood has said that in South India, the implementation of proper population control norms has benefited us. That's absolutely wrong. Because of the strict implementation of population norms in South India, the South Indian population was limited to the total reproductive rate of less than 2. But in the North Indian states, the total reproductive, without the strict implementations, the total population rate or total fertility rate was greater than 2%. Now there's a big gap in populations of North of India and South of India. Now coming to the point, because of this strict implementation in South India, the number of MPs coming from South India has drastically decreased, and number of MPs representing North India has drastically increased. And now there's a political injustice because of strict implementation of population control in South India, and whereas lenient implementation of population control in North India. This goes to my point that strict population control has immense social impact, even if the government tries all its best, and the strict implementation of population control is not the way to go ahead.
Okay, so what I'm taking from your points is population and fertility is a competition. Oh, look, North India is having greater population. As South Indians, we should also increase the population. I'm sorry, but that is the most negative way to look at ways to control overpopulation. You are trying to use population as a method to gain political bonuses. South India has done a good job with control of overpopulation. If North India is lagging behind, we should be pushing them, we should be motivating them. This mindset is why we don't care about overpopulation. A farmer will say, I want more kids because more hands. It's not because I want a happier family. This mindset towards having overpopulation is more hands, more MPs, more politics, is why we're in this state. We shouldn't be saying, hey, South India, increase population. We should be saying, North India, you're lagging behind at this factor. Please reduce your population, have better policies, incentives, education. Only by decreasing of overall population of India, we will succeed. Thank you.
Okay, team A, do you want to ask any questions to team C?
Yes, I strongly disagree with Masood's point. Dear opponent, my worthy opponent Masood, I want to ask you, how can you compare racism to family planning, to contraception?
They are both
And
personal
how
beliefs.
can, I'll add to it, And how can family planning or contraceptive methods can give us more happiness? You have stated that sacrificing happiness.
Contraception is better. We have seen that contraception has stopped STDs and all. I'm talking about personal beliefs. Personal beliefs can be anything. Who draws the line on what is a personal belief? Like if I don't want to have more kids or I don't want to braces, I don't want. They are both personal beliefs, as you said. My point was they are both personal beliefs. So who draws the line on what is right and what is wrong? That's why the government took take in charge and take interest of the people and enforce policy according to it.
How can that be then compared to? How can family planning be compared to racism?
Can I interject here? I absolutely agree with Masood here. What he's pointing out is the flaw in your, argument. You've mentioned that we should leave family planning as a personal choice, personal belief. If the government had done the same thing for a lot of the choices we hold today, we would not be a unified country today. As complicated as we are, because the government has laws against racism, differentiation, sexism, this is why we are here today. We need to have laws that, although give you those personal freedoms, as long as they do not harm your community, you are allowed to have them. Overpopulation is a harm to our community. It is something the government should be working towards. This is why we're not saying they're the same thing. But when you point them out as both personal beliefs, they are both open to the same criticism. Personal beliefs that are unrestricted are very harmful. There should be some amount of government policies working to limit them and to prevent communal harm. Thank you.
Okay. We are democratic nation. Okay. We decide our government. Indira Gandhi's government has fallen just due to imposition of this very law of vasectomy.
That's a very
way
to look at. That's Indira Gandhi the government did not fall because of vasectomy. It fell due to the 1975 economic crisis, which happened. So I do not see that just because of vasectomy, you can blame the entire problem.
Although, like, maybe her image took a hit, and that is not what we're advocating for at all as well. Forced sterilization is absolutely ridiculous. It takes away human rights and choices. We're advocating for policies and incentives. Please don't put words into like our mouth.
That forced sterilization is just ridiculous. Did you?
All right. Team A, enough of cross questioning. You can continue the rest in your statement, all right?
Now we would like Team B to give their rebuttal statement. You guys have 1 minute.
Team C has been talking about advocating on individual rights and policies and incentives, education. Thanks for educating our thought process. Due to the strict implementation, the balance has gone overboard. So when you tell that North India has a greater population than South India because of the strict implementation, and then you were like, oh, North India decreased the population, you're lagging behind. It stems from the very fact that the strict policies were implemented in 1970s. So now after when you've implemented a strict policy and then it causes and then it's caused a consequence that there is a imbalance in population share, you can't be telling that relax North India. That's not the solution that you're giving. Advocating for education, health access, and the incentives given are the better way to go. So strict policies implementation is strictly bad. And one more statement that I would like to quote is there has been low reproductive rate and increase in aging population in South Korea due to implementation of the strict population acts. So now when you talk about Korea, there is less reproductive rates, which has caused the economic crisis to them. Now they are nowhere on the economical map of the world. So this has huge impact on economic stability, crisis, and the very balance of population in the country.
Okay.
I think Masood is going to. Can we reply?
Oh yes. Team C, you guys can ask questions.
Masood,
and the teams like before we move forward, I would like to say that the teams who are on the same side of the notion can also correct and contradict each other's statements. Okay.
Masood is going to, Abdul Masood is going to clarify the South Korea and how that's not the truth. And then after that, I'm going to point out how their mention about North India, South India is something they started. And I pointed out that flaw. But Masood, please take it away.
For the argument about Korea, the same problem has been seen in both Korea and Japan, and it is not because of the population control laws which are passed that they are now facing a fertility crisis. It's because of economic crisis that has happened. The people are not able to afford a home. They are not able to afford education. College tuition fees are up. They have to take loans. That's the reason people are choosing not to have kids. They're choosing not to have kids. And also the second argument placed is misogyny because of there you can have learn about big Korean movements where against we man and others which are against misogyny. That's the reason women are choosing not to have kids with men because of this. The first argument still holds cement because of a high cost of living, high cost of education for the kids, high cost of uh, healthcare and all. That's the reason people are not choosing have to not have.
Masood is absolutely right. It's not that like lesser population is causing the economic issues. The economic issues have caused the lesser population in South Korea. Your facts are like not there, and you're not bringing any proof to back it up. Now let's go back to that South India, North India thing. You, for some reason, changed the facts and said that forced sterilization caused South India's decrease in population. When Masood stated that it was governmental policies that caused the decrease in South India. And now you still didn't mention how like it's a bad thing that South India has worked towards this good goal and North India is not as fast as them. Maybe they are working on it. But how is this a bad thing that, South India has decreased population? It's not because of forced sterilization. Masood pointed out that it was policies.
Please stick to a precise question.
Sorry.
Yeah.
TLDR, it is not because of forced sterilization that South India's population has gone down. It is because of beneficial policies by the Kerala government and other governments in South India. Number two, you still haven't pointed out why that's a bad thing and why North India is better for not doing that.
In my opening statement only, I clearly pointed out that the political representation in South India has been badly affected by the implementation, by the gross injustice. I'm again repeating. I think you're wandering off the point. The topic was that strict implementation of government policies, and you're going on the forefront that formula they should be implemented, but on a lighter scale. The topic itself states strict implementation of population control policies. Now, coming to this has led to in South India, the political recognition or political representation has decreased. The number of MPs have decreased. In North India, the number of MPs have increased. Why? Why? Because of the strict implementation of policy and the lack of uniformity. Now the fundamental rights of this has led to fundamental rights violation. The people of South India don't have enough voices in the parliament. How can you justify that that because of your that if a strict implementation of overpopulation policies will preserve human rights, will preserve personal rights, whereas all these rights and their voices have steadily been decreasing just because of the strict implementation of population control in South India when compared to North India.
I'm sorry to say it, Team B, but you're thinking very materialistically. You are not thinking about the future generations. You are not thinking about the planet that you hold today. Again, these talks about like politics, although this is important to have representation, this is something the government should be able to help work on. But today we're here to talk about our population, our Earth. Overpopulation is not a problem for just us.
If you have a follow-up question, please frame it as a question.
Sorry,
or we just proceed.
Oh, if I have a question to them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you think okay, so let's say we ban all, forms of population control in South India. Are you okay with allowing, widespread population increase just for political gain? Are you okay with this? Are you okay if the population became 1.7 billion in 2050? Are you okay with this?
The game was never about the politics or this thing. It was about the strict implementation and the violation of fundamental human rights. So you defend your strict policies, leave the rights to us. So we've been advocating for the whole statements that the policies and the procedures should have been in favor of human rights and individual rights, not blatantly cutting off whatever they wanted. So after all this has happened, the consequence is so bad that now we don't have right representation in the form of politics and in the general representation of a creed of people. So the consequence is so bad that this strict implementation has pulled a sector of people so behind.
So Team B, is
So the
that a
game is
yes or
always
no?
about.
Okay. Okay.
Is that a yes or no to that question?
Are you okay with the population becoming 1.7 billion in the next 25 years? We are at 1.2 almost. Are you
No,
okay with this
absolutely.
just for pop? Are you okay with this just for political gain? Because you
This thing
talk a lot
Are
about
you
South Indian
okay? Are
political
you
gain.
okay
Are
doing
you?
this forcefully? Are you okay controlling the population forcefully by not willfully doing it and just forcefully cutting off the
I will again say that the purview of the
Oh,
topic was
I'm sorry.
the
All
I
right,
don't
implementation
no,
of
think
strict
Team
anywhere
C,
population
please.
in our
policies.
Guys,
argument.
guys,
Sorry. No,
The
no.
purview of discussion was implementation of strict population policies, and I'm telling you, because of the implementation of strict population policy, this has happened. Please don't mislead the panel, mislead the guide, and say that would you justify 1.7. I think it is absolutely out of the purview of the topic that we are discussing on, and it's very foolish to say that.
Okay, we'll
Okay,
leave
the
the
youngsters to
judging.
implement the
Guys,
strict
we'll leave the
policies.
judging to the judges. Team B, Team C, thank you so much. We'll proceed with the rebuttal statement of Team A. Are you guys ready?
Yes. Shall we start?
Yeah.
Just a second.
Go ahead. Just a second.
Okay.
Okay.
Team A, you guys have 1 minute.
Yeah, please start.
Yes. So ultimately, the decision to implement population control techniques is a highly sensitive and ethical issue that requires careful consideration of various factors, including human rights, social justice, social justice, and environmental sustainability. It is important for governments to engage in open and transparent discussions with their citizens and consider a range of options before implementing any population control measures. Furthermore, focusing solely on population control overlooks broader issues related to environment sustainability. While population growth is a factor in environmental impact, it is just one piece of the puzzle. Addressing consumption pattern, resource management, and technological innovation in sustainable efforts are equally crucial in mitigating environmental challenges.
Your time is up.
Thank you.
Okay. Team C, you can ask any questions that you have from Team A.
Okay, so Team A has given some alternatives to, working on our population. The issue with their alternatives are they're not addressing the root cause. They're saying what humans have been doing for a long, long time. Hey, let's just, let's push it later, tomorrow. Let's increase ways to have more food. Let's increase technology. But will you be able to increase Earth? Will you be able to increase our environment? I'm sorry, but you're ignoring the harm that overpopulation has had on our globe, on our Earth. You are not at all addressing it. It's my simple question is,
Yes,
are you
please.
going to continue to ignore overpopulation as a problem, or are you simply going to keep saying, hey, we'll have more food. We'll just find ways to get more food. You've not given any examples on how this more food occurs. You've not given examples of where we get more resources. We see drought and hunger all across the world.
I think the question is clear,
Sorry,
Aslan.
Yeah, sorry.
So yeah, basically, dear Aslan, you meant to ask us that overpopulation is causing food scarcity. Am I right?
I'm asking why you're not addressing the source issue. of overall
Okay.
population.
Are you not aware of green revolution, blue revolution, white revolution, silver revolution? Do you know what these are? Green revolution has tremendously increased yield. White revolution increased in dairy production. Silver revolution increased in chicken and eggs. Blue revolution, what are these for?
The green revolution which you mentioned caused immense amount of drought in Punjab and decreased the groundwater table of the area. And now there is a and in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu there is a fight over the Kaveri river because there is not enough water to fund these GMO crops because they require more water.
Masood has pointed out why those
They are causing a damage as well. Even if we have more production, they are still causing a damage as well. And with gambling, we are using the water meant for our future generations right now just because of genetically modified crops or more yield.
Masood has pointed out why those, although good at the time, have had long-term side effects.
Follow-up questions, please stick to the format of a question.
The issue which was good and what has been implemented. See, everything comes with challenges, and we humans are like, what do we say? Innovation.
Could you repeat that? Everything comes with?
I'm saying, necessity is the mother of inventions. So yes, in Urdu we say, zarurat ijad ki maa hai. Okay, necessity is the mother of inventions. And what all necessity will come, we will overcome because we are humans, we are with brains. Okay, we have the ability to think. And it is with our ability to think that we have done green revolution, blue revolution, silver revolution, white revolution. And yes, we humans have improved the outcome, improved the production. I hope I have justified your answer.
Yes, you did tell that we will overcome.
Team B would like to
overcome.
Yeah, we take a question from Team B now.
We were about to actually come in support of Team A. Is that allowed?
Fine, you can add a point.
Yeah, thank you. So, about the argument. So we were never for overpopulation. I think
topic.
The topic we are Team C has been falsely wondering. The topic is about the strict implementation of policies. So regarding that, so we are not for overpopulation. The point is always about to advocate human rights and not compromising on the fundamental individual rights. It is about the equality. It is about the sustainable development. So the emphasis should have been on consumption patterns, promoting renewable resources, improvement of resource management, tech innovations, and avenues to mitigate impactful practices. So in support of this, this is not me exaggerating. It is the WHO who is taking these steps to do this. There's this body of IFC, International Finance Corporation, which is a member of World Bank Group. Immensely in renewable energies, green infrastructure, sustainable agriculture, and agricultural methods. So you've implemented a lot of strict policies. Let's take the India 1970 and the other strict policies that you've been implementing. What is the impact of it? The impact is null. Today, it is ineffective. We are the populous most country in the world. So it is ineffective what you've been implementing all through. Instead, our concern should be impactful resource management and improving in the avenues. So the innovations have to get better. So,
so please summarize your point, Team B.
To summarize, the game has always to be about the innovating and impactful resource management. Worrying about population and the growth of it is pointless because the implementation of strict policies has done nothing. Today, we are the world's most populous country.
All right.
There are loads of.
I would like to B.
Yeah.
Implementing strict policies is not gonna help. Okay, education of both men and women is a wonderful contraception. Okay, you don't have to impose strict policies for having contraception.
Instead of imposing family planning, the government can impose different techniques and different tools. Like they can educate the children. Small children have the very good knowledge. They grasp things more better than us. Educate them about how to grow trees, how to implement methods that will help you in the future. Not only they will help you, but also the upcoming generations. Instead of imposing family planning, the government and NGOs should work on these policies.
Okay. Okay. We can stop the rebuttal round now. Vasit, can we stop it?
Yeah, I think that will be it. It was a very fiery debate, and now we'll be taking questions from our esteemed judges to really test the metal, test the steel, how far these teams can stand there, a proper line of questioning. So let's start with Dr. Saroj sir. You can ask one question to each team and then a follow-up as you deem fit.
Okay, thank you so much. It was amazing discussion. Okay, I could see future policymakers here in this room, very room. Okay, so let me ask the question. Let me go from team C to A. Team C, your question: what would you do if you are the policymaker of this country?
Thank you for the good question, sir. I think me and Masood have very clearly outlined some of our ideas. Mandated sexual education. Ensure that each school is informing our young generation. In fact, team has very graciously agreed to our point. This was one of the first opening points we put up. Mandated. Ensure that this education is happening. Mandated advertisements showing the benefits of having a smaller family and the harms of having a bigger family. Mandated social welfare. One thing Masood pointed out yesterday was a brilliant point. It's how as the poverty level decreases, so does our fertility levels. Poorer people are more likely to have children. It is a trap of low social welfare. We must work on these policies as well. It is overpopulation such a multi-complex issue. It cannot be solved by saying, let's work on resources. But yes, those are some of the issues we would love to work on, Miansu. Thank you.
Thank you, Aslan. It was amazing. Okay, my question to Team B. Okay, what step, like since you are against the strict implementation of government policies, like as a medical student, what would you do? Like what steps would you recommend to the government if you are to write a letter to the government and say, no, this is not what, then what would be the main basis in your letter? Should I repeat, Team B?
Sir, would you please repeat the question if you don't?
Sure. So my question is, since you are against the strict implementation, what steps as a medical student would you do or take, okay, if you are to write a letter to the policymakers of the country, what would you actually do? What would be your actions?
So we would like to request a few seconds to come up with an answer. So we should focus on the organic growth of ideas in the population, that overpopulation is not the correct thing. The strict implementation of policies has not done us any good. The social consciousness must be developed to a sense that every individual must know the effects of overpopulation, and just by simply showing the stick, we can't reduce the population, as it has already been showcased because of the previous historical examples. I would suggest that we should improve education, improve family planning services, and as a medical student, we should as advocates of medicine, we should increase health awareness and population control as one of the major UN sustainable goals.
Adding to that, apart from medical education, As students, we can also see and work on the resource management and the re-educating about moving towards sustainable development using the devices which promote sustainable development. Today, UN General Secretary has been talking about the instruments of using green bonds, social impact bonds, and consumption patterns, smart grids, renewable energy resources. So we as students, if we create awareness on using uh, these resources have been manufactured and uh, made to be used by a huge population in a very effective manner. So instead of worrying about implementation of strict policies or cutting down the population very drastically, not looking at the long-term achievement, it is nicer that if we focus on using the resources effectively of what we have.
Thank you, Team B. Thank you for that answer. Okay, let's hear from Team A. The question for Team A. As a doctor, okay, good evening. So, as a doctor, when you're seated with your patients, okay, so what would you advocate the new couple, newly married couple, or eligible couple? What would you What would be your message?
First, if I am a doctor, I would first educate them to go for a healthy checkup. Routine checkup is absolutely essential because if the baby is having any problems in early stage, it can be detected early stages. And afterwards, we will advise them how to take care of the baby. And obviously, most important point will be of education.
And obviously, while with all these, we can't ignore the health of the mother and the child. The health of the mother and the child and the couple should be addressed. See, contraception is a strict imposition of that is a very bad thing because I think ethical issues come into play. So yes, education can change the world. One person has rightly said, with one pen, one day, you can change the world. So yes, you can't just take a stick, as the team B said. You can't just take a stick and do contraception. No, that's not how it works. You have to educate people. You have to show what are the pros and the cons. Because if you don't show them, how will they know? And yes, transparent discussions among the doctors, among the policymakers should be done. Because transparent discussions makes the person sitting in front of you more acceptable of grasp things from you more easily than you giving advices.
Some of the people even consider doctors as next to God. When you are implementing and showing them the right techniques and right things, when you're advising them, they will definitely understand. And mostly the people in the rural areas do not have any knowledge about how to even take care of the pregnant woman.
We believe in education, not imposition. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Question, sir?
Thank you for answers. I have given the scores. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you so
Can you
much,
repeat
Dr.
what was? Sorry, can you repeat? Team A, what did you say?
Sir, have I given justice to sir?
Yeah, I've got your answer. Thank you. Thank you, Usna and Ifra. Team A. Okay, I've given the scores for all the three teams. Over to you, Asif.
Yeah, Dr. Janvi, ma'am, let's take some questions from you.
Sure. Firstly, I'd like to say that the debate has been going on really well, and I'm really enjoying as one of you mentioned as well, that it's a fiery debate for sure. So I'm enjoying it to the fullest. Yes, I do have questions that I would like to ask each team here. I would start with, I'll follow the same pattern as Dr. Sarosh. So I'll go from C to A. So team C. I'd like to ask you, what are some routine impacts you experience due to overpopulation? I'll explain it. What I mean to ask is, what are certain day-to-day activities that you perform where you feel some sort of inconvenience or maybe convenience because of the overpopulation that we have around ourselves? So day-to-day what are some daily impacts, routine impacts that you encounter?
Do you mind just giving us like a few seconds just to discuss our answer? Just 5 seconds.
Also, teams, please keep your answers more precise. That will just give you more time for more questions. The more you elaborate the obvious, you'll be losing time, okay?
Good evening, ma'am. I'd like to answer your question by saying that one of the biggest problems of overpopulation has been overcrowding. Like, for example, metro crowding in the overcrowding in the Mumbai local has caused a person to come underneath the train, as you have seen recently. And a stampede 2 days back in the city in Uttar Pradesh, due to a sermon, has caused a stampede and close to 99 fatalities. So I would say that overpopulation harms us in everyday life.
Not just that, we can see it in the water availability. There are a lot of areas where you only have water for 3 days out of a whole week. If our population was more under control, we could have better water distribution, food distribution. The issue of like population control, it's a very communal problem that we all face. And those people who have 3 days of water a week, when our population increases, they might have 1 day of water a week. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you for your answer. I'd like to switch to team B now. Also, I have a question. I'm really confused. Who is Jayant and who is Ashray? So can you clarify that for me once? Because while scolding, I was finding it difficult. Yes.
Myself, my name is Ashrema. I am Jayan.
Okay, thank you. You clarified that for me. Okay. So the question that I have for you is, what are some mental health impacts that you encounter due to overpopulation? They could be good ones or certain negative ones as well. So what are certain mental health impacts? I'm not saying issues because issue is a negative word here. So mental health impacts that you encounter on a day-to-day basis due to
overpopulation.
Yes.
I would like to take a few seconds.
Ma'am, basically because of the overpopulation, there's increased competitions for limited resources. So there's increase in stress among individuals. There's increased amount of depression if we can't achieve the set standards of the society. The set standards of society are itself high because of the increased competition. Why increased competition? Because of the overpopulation. So the mental effects are increased stress, the depression, because he's not able to cope up with the demands of the society, and all the array that comes from not being able to deliver or not being able to acclimatize to the increased needs of the society.
The best example we can give is
NEET, ma'am.
The stress is super high that
the I know that it should be survival of the fittest, but to we need to have a human angle to this, and overpopulation has
has taken a toll on our mental health.
Because of the increased
mostly
competition.
It had negative impacts, we would conclude to say.
So do you think that in India we are already constantly under this survival mode, whereas in other countries like in the Europe, people are enjoying their lives with a lot of calm and peace? Whereas in India, because we're trying to prove our point, trying to get a seat and trying to get a stable income, we're trying to fight amongst ourselves and our own community. Do you agree with that?
Yes, we do for the most part, but then there has been mental stress and the stress for other reasons in Europe, if you would say. Probably the education part has toned down. Probably the stress is not high in those areas, but the financial stress is super high. Not everybody gets a job there, so financial stress is super high there. So we don't want to tell that Europe has less stress compared to India, but the aspects of where the stress falls is very different. We fight for resources, we fight for space, we fight for water, food, we fight for the seat, we fight for the basic needs that we actually require. Probably the Europe has much richer problems, I would say.
But at the end of this day, we can't compare the two populations because of the different socio-cultural factors here and there.
The spaces are smaller, so the people are lesser. The opportunities are somewhere in accordance with that. We have a huge space with even huge population. So the debate comes down to the survival, because we are fighting for every basic need that we have to choose.
Thank you. All right. Team C, sorry, Team A.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. All right. So my question for you is that as we're trying to, we've all studied community medicine, right? So I want to ask. Yeah, you're still studying it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll throw down the question then. I'll not ask you about the scans. So what I want to ask here is, when we say that we want to educate the population and want to control this issue that we are encountering right now as a nation, who exactly is our target audience? We are like billions of people here. So when you want to address this issue and control the population, let's suppose this is a scenario that you want to control the overpopulation of this nation, who exactly is your target audience here? And how will you try and nurture them that this is exactly what you need to do?
Ma'am, a very good question raised by you. So yes, you meant to ask us ki how are we, how can we deliver?
Who are our targets?
Yes, go to our targets, reach our targets, right, ma'am?
Who is your target audience and how will you reach out to them is my question.
Our targets will mainly be the villagers who do not have any particular knowledge about anything.
And ma'am, overpopulation is caused by every single person, because you have a couple, then the generation goes on, and yes, overpopulation occurs. So yes, this particular thing of targeting or educating people on overpopulation should be done to every single person, I would say, in my view. So, but the way to educate people should vary. And the question on how should I reach to people is, if we say if we come to the urban areas, we can do posters, awareness programs, and we can do mass media.
And talking about the rural people, there is obviously lack of communication and they do not have very much access to social media. So we personally should form groups so that in the groups we can go personally and educate them. This is very important.
A very new thing which have been like coming in recent years, which I personally like, is making short films. Many of the short films has been awarded as Oscar and recognized globally, also internationally also, because like educating rural area people from rural areas is not easy, because you can't make them understand. But if you make short films, advertisement out of it, and display them, then the education becomes more clear, more easy, and they tend to more accept our education. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your answers.
Thank you, Dr. Janvi. Those are very practical questions and gave something for all participants and all of us to think about. Dr. Isra, one question each team, and all the teams, please be very precise. Over speaking is a negative point. Please remember that.
Hello, everyone. Really enjoyed. It was amazing how each of you kept your point, and I liked how everyone was. now, now let's see. I'll go to the same sequence as the previous judges, C, B, A. So my question to Team C will be, how does improving the status of women affect population growth?
I'm sorry, improving the what of women?
How does improving the status of women affect population growth?
Just 1 second.
Good evening, ma'am. I would like to answer your question. So, sir, how does improving the status of women help in reducing population, right? Am I right?
No, affect. I'll repeat the question again. How does improving the status of women affect population growth? It could be negative, positive. Put up your statements accordingly.
By improving the status of women, we cause a downward in the fertility rate, because women are being aware of their contraceptives. They are being made aware of not of gapping their pregnancies. The health hazards associated with multiple pregnancies, the risk with having being pregnant post the age of 35 and all. So I believe that it is of a positive.
I I absolutely agree. Other than like educational status, I think like economical status and even status in society is a very important part. It is a sad truth that women sometimes often do not have the choice to have a child, or maybe to pursue their own, education or job that they would have. By improving their status, it gives them more power in their relationship to to have a child when they feel it's right for their time. We think status is very important to combat overpopulation. Thank you.
Okay, those were really good points. Now my question to Team B is, why are developing countries experiencing rapid population growth while developed countries growing slowly I have stagnant or it's very slow? Since you guys have mentioned a lot of points regarding improving conditions, now I want you to come up points with why are developing countries experiencing rapid population, and why are developed countries have no significant changes even though they have implemented a lot of things.
Ma'am, I would like, good evening, ma'am. A wonderful question. I would like to take the example of India as a developing country. Now, in India, there are about 220 million illiterate women, many of whom are bound to child marriages in rural areas. This highlights the urgent need to create awareness and to empower women. So the measures should be taken to prevent child marriage and raise the legal age of marriage. Women must be made aware of their right to exercise the choice of contraception, or their reproductive rights. Women must be made aware of the reproductive rights. I feel that in developing countries, the status of women is not at par with the developed countries, and this plays an important role in the in this plays a very important role that developed countries have low population growth rates and developing countries have high population growth rates. So I would suggest that education and empowerment of women is one of the key areas to focus on. And uh, and in developing countries, the basically the sensitization and awareness campaigns may not have reached the masses. That's one of the reason why there's a disparity between developed and developing countries.
Okay. Also, one more point you could add, which I'm just saying for everyone, could also address medical reasons. They're very important. As developed countries, they tend to, even though they have everything, try to balance everything. There are a lot of women who are going through autoimmune issues in the current scenario. So that could also add on to how countries develop population control is seen in both developed and non-developed countries. Now, my question to Team A is,
Good evening, ma'am.
I was expecting, good evening. I was expecting one of you to bring up this point, but none of you did. So I'm going to ask it as a question. How does migrate affect population? I want pros and cons by both of you. How does migration affect population?
Okay.
And the factors surrounding it. You can go around the topic.
Yes. As Team C, I guess said, metro rail, sorry, the The people in metro in Mumbai, metros have been overcrowded due to population. Then I would say that migration, Mumbai being the capital hub of marketing capital, being the Sapno ki Nagari, has impacted many people to shift from other states to Mumbai, which has led to obviously overcrowding, overpopulation, and what I would say is population explosion in that particular region. But yes, there have many new inventions has been done. Like people are more, like people more do they are more comfortable in traveling in public transport than taking their own.
I would like to interrupt.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not talking about I'm not talking about traveling or national migration. I'm talking about international waters and uh, in sense, I'm talking like outside the country where people move in and move out. I'm in speaking in that regard. So your point is actually relevant. I want you to speak regarding migration in sense like moving overseas.
Okay. Like migrating from India to overseas, ma'am?
Yeah, and vice versa. How does it affect the population?
Mainly people migrate because of employment only. The main issue is employment. People migrate from a country where there is no employment, or they are employed but they are paid very less. So most of us living in India are trying, even if we are doing MBBS, most of us are thinking of USMLE. Why? Because we think that in a year what we can earn over there, we can't earn even in 5 years after even doing MBBS.
Residency. So one more
Yeah,
thing.
but with what I'm trying to say is, you can bring up points. I'm just trying to combat. What I'm trying to say is that you're saying that we think that we will move, but still, even if though people are migrating, the population is still very high in India. So you could list out the reasons why.
Because the population is not being controlled. Only if the question is why people are migrating, but still there is overpopulation, right?
No, not overpopulation. I'm saying about pros and cons, both. One of you could do the pros, and other one of you could do the cons.
Ma'am, will take a second.
Your pardon?
We need 10 seconds.
Okay, all right.
Ma'am, the biggest pro which I would say in migration is we are introducing our tradition, our cultures in foreign, and there is exchange of tradition, exchange of cultures, which increases diversity in people. Then other pro could be then employment, as Husna rightly said. People mostly migrate for employment reasons, and due to this employment in India, as India is the top most overpopulated country in the world, so immigration from a bunch of people from India, only a bunch of people have been immigrated, but the rest of the people are in India. So yes, more chances of employment for both the groups, the person who have immigrated and those who are here in India back. So yes, the person who has immigrated gets the employment there. The person who is here, there will be more employment options basically. So yes, that I would say is a double benefit.
Talking about the cons, the main first issue the people face will be the climate change. Now, if we talk about the climate of India and we talk about the climate of Australia, Canada, or any other country, there is a huge difference of temperatures. Some of the people who try to shift there do not have the capability to survive those conditions. That is the biggest con.
I would like to add in this. So a research has been done in United States of America as to why is there occurrence of what intestinal cancers more in people who have resided in India and then migrated to United States. A research has been conducted and it has shown that people who are from India has shown more incidence of cancers, bowel cancers than the people who are resident of America, residing in America. So yes, I would say that this climate change, which has drastically been done, the change of traditions, like people here prefer spicy food. We have here cardamom, cinnamon is everything is grown because it favors the climate of this country. But if you go there, if you have changed your country, then adjusting to it, like now we have the advent of airplanes. Okay, we are here today. We are in India. Tomorrow we will be in United States. 24 hours. See, we are not on and off buttons. We can't. Our body can't switch. Oh,
we are
on
really running
India,
out of
off
time.
US.
Teammate,
So yes,
please summarize.
That I would say is the biggest disadvantage of e-migration. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for your valuables.
Wonderful questions. We are really going neck to neck. I'll just ask a single question from my side to each teams, if you don't mind. And please, please, please keep it precise, very precise. Just a single line answers, okay? I'll start with Team A. Team A, we see very often in developing countries that we have a lot of laws and we have a lot of initiatives, but there's no proper implementation, such as traffic rules, etc. So how does this translate to overpopulation? Wouldn't you say, even if we have good enough measures, like if we have under strict, or if we don't have good enough measures, right? They're not strict enough, they'll just not be followed. What do you have to say for this?
Can you please repeat your question as to like summarize your question?
Yeah, you objected to strict implementation of control of overpopulation, right? If the control is not strict enough, the population will not follow it, especially in developing countries. Wouldn't you agree?
No, I have also told that education can change everything. Education has the power to change every single thing. So why can't you educate? Why only a stick can work and not our words? Words are powerful things with which we can change the world. And yes, I would say the power of words is immense. Thank you.
Great, amazing. Thank you so much. Team B, you've mentioned a growing concern in our country. You've mentioned that there's under-representation of the southern states in the parliament, and that is due to control of overpopulation, right? I would we have a lot of cases where we have a very populous race, or we have a very populous ethnicity, and they're still underrepresented in the parliament, which goes on in many countries, even the developed countries. Wouldn't you say that controlling overpopulation will give you better resources or standing, so that you have better representation?
Sir, our good question, sir. Our point of view for bringing that argument was that basically the strict implementations had impacted the social and political and representation of peoples. Now coming to the question that you've asked, yes, I would agree that overpopulation. Sir, once can you repeat the question, sir?
Yeah, my question is, I'll try to simplify it I'll try to simplify it much as possible. If I have 5 apples and if I have 5 people, every person gets an apple. If I have 10 people, they all just get half. Representation in the parliament is quite similar to social standing, education, and those things count more, right? When it comes to being elected, or they have a better chance. right? You agree to this, right? Now I'm saying that the representation in the parliament for very populous races or very populous ethnicities is still low. We have a huge crowd of people that are still underrepresented, no matter how huge the population is. So, wouldn't you say
yeah, to
controlling
discuss.
overpopulation is important rather than, a confounding factor that you've mentioned for representation in the parliament?
Okay, so this comes down to the fact that this fairly populous ethnicity, are they having fair enough awareness or education where they have to represent where they are willing to fight for their rights? Are they aware that the rights and the fundamentals are important to them? So it is the question comes down to it is not about 10 people, 5 apples, and everybody gets a half. Because there is low awareness and there is lesser representation from them, there is not awareness that they should take a move or take a stance for them. Probably the apples are shared for 6 people, probably the 5 apples are taken already, and for rest for don't get an apple at all. So the problem is that.
So would you say that
Fairly populous ethnicity also might fall back because they are not rightly educated. It all
right.
boils down
So would
to
you say that is a fair enough comparison, overpopulation and representation in the parliament? Do you think that's a fair? I just want a final point from you. Do you think that's a fair comparison or not?
we think it is a fair consequence that you are facing. It is the reality today.
It's the reality because of the strict implementation of overpopulation policies in southern states.
All right,
there is a consequence, and we are seeing it today.
Yeah, I have my answer. Team C, very quickly. We see a lot that over implementation of laws can lead to illegal activities. Wouldn't you say if you have a very strict policies of, penalizing families that have more than a certain amount of children, that will lead to rise in number of orphans and a lot of abandoned children? Don't you think that is a very draconic and a harsh byproduct or a result of over implementation or strict implementation?
Just 1 second. Masood will take this.
As you have said that because of draconian measures, there are many orphans and children who are abandoned, right?
Yeah.
Well, what I feel about this is that where do we draw the line on what can you do and what, as you can say, next day we might say I'm just breaking a traffic rule because I want to attend a friend. I just want to break a traffic. I want to just steal this because I want to give it to a friend. So, by then, who will draw the line on what? So when a law is made, we expect people that they'll follow it so that there is safety, there is containment of the entire population, and they are satisfied.
So wouldn't you say just strict measures would lead to rise of orphans and abandoned children? You don't agree?
If in case strict policies are made, then even stricter gaps should be made so that the loopholes are closed off.
All right,
in
fair
case
enough.
if you have
Fair enough, fair enough. So you want a strict policy on both ends. Fair.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for your answers. Really love them. Masood, you can take over and we'll just have more time.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much it, right?
Yes, I think we are done. Okay. Thank you for your questions, judges and Vase. I would request all the judges to send us the scores, please, so that we can calculate the results. And yeah.
Sir, are we sure that we're not having any concluding statements today?
No, actually,
no, I think
we are
the
short
answers
on
were
time.
satisfying enough.
Yes.
We wanted to mention a few points more to close the argument.
Okay, while we calculate scores, you guys can each give a concluding statement. Just don't keep it long. Team A to Team C, just give a single line. Do you still stand with your point, or do you still stand with the motion that you've chosen, you've been given?
Thank you, sir.
Please try and keep it very short, just a sentence or just one or two sentences, please.
So, can Team B start their conclusion statement, sir?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Uh, Team B would like to conclude by saying that the strict implementation of population control policies to address overpopulation is never the answer. Now, I would like to give alternatives instead of this strict implementation of policies. Like, let's take the example of India only. In India, the mission Parivar Vikas targets 146 high fertility districts to increase access to contraceptives and family planning services. New contraceptive choices have been introduced. Sterilization compensation schemes have been introduced. Clinical outreach teams and schemes have been introduced which serve the underserved area, thus thereby increasing the awareness about family planning, uh, increasing the awareness of family planning. The point I'm trying to make is that even without the strict implementation of family planning laws, we have achieved many great results by following all these policies and schemes. That the achievements are the TFR has reduced it to 2 point, the total fertility rate had reduced it to 2.2 in 15 years, that is from 2015 to 2005 to 2017, in accordance with the National Population Policy 2022. Crude birth rate has decreased it from 23.8 to 20.2 from 2005 to 2017. Teenage birth rate has halved from 16% to 8%. I would like to say that all these achievements have only been possible because of the not because of the strict implementation of population control policies, but because of future planning and proper implementation of population control policies.
To add to that, today UN General Secretary has been speaking in the World Population Day conference. Today UN General Secretary has been speaking about a few impacts that he has observed. Maternal deaths have fallen to 34% since 2000 because we've been educating women and focusing on women's sexual and reproductive health rights. So he also talked about investing in data collection to be important to understand the problems, to tailor the solutions for it. Regarding the environmental aspect, so we can use financial instruments like green bonds and social impact bonds. And the government of India has been doing a very nice thing about giving incentives to.
Yeah, I think that's enough. Thank you so much. Just conclude.
Yeah, to conclude, even if we have the overpopulated state today, we can focus on achieving better resource management and utilizing our resources to the fullest. Modi sir has been giving PM Kusum incentives for the farmers who are installing solar panels. Though we don't have coal electricity up to the mark for today for all the population, we have solar energy to compensate for it. So resource management is the key to go. Thank you.
All right. Team C and Team A, do you want to add anything? If it's necessary, then do add it. Or...
It's not necessary, but it would just take 1 minute at most. It's fine if you would like to like wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you so much. Very considerate. Since the concluding sentences are not being marked, you can just send us via chat and we'll still enjoy reading it. Don't worry. Now we'll just take a few points from the judges. Anything, any advice that you have for the teams, anything that they can improve on or something that you really like, just general thoughts from your side. We would really love to hear you. Dr. Janvi?
All right. So I'll take a little time of yours, like not a lot, because already we're short of time. So I'll just share a few insights for everybody who were there, so that just in case you appear for any other debate in the future, this should be a learning for you, so that you know where exactly can you improve yourself. I'll start with the same order, C2A. Let's do that. So I'll start with I suppose it's Aslan, right?
Yeah, it's Aslan. Yeah, Aslan was it.
Aslan, I would like to appreciate the fact that you have very good feedback skills. What I mean by it is that you don't get very violent when trying to give a feedback, which will work really well for you in the future. So I would really I would like to suggest you that keep that with yourself, and always when you're trying to give a feedback, make sure that you're also soft and like you're sticking to your point, but also soft. So I appreciated that a lot about you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Would just suggest that you could also be more vocal and have like you could just show your opinions even further. Maybe a little more opinionated thought process would work better for you. So
Sure.
I think that is one thing that you can take away from here. For Masood, I would say that I again noticed that you have very good points to deliver. You were very good at whatever you wanted to suggest or say. You were very precise and crisp with it. But again, I think you lost the track and enthusiasm somewhere in the middle. So I will suggest that you keep that up throughout the. If it's lasting for an hour, you should keep that up for the whole session and not just be active for like the initial half an hour. Okay.
Thank you. I understand.
For
Thank you.
Jayant and Ashray, I'd like to say that both of you are very enthusiastic people, and I think everybody on the panel could observe that. I'd like to say that you were very clear with your stats and facts, which is something I really liked. So you had your numbers on, you had your, you were very, like you were very firm about your opinions, which is actually a good thing and a negative thing at the same time. So one suggestion that I could give you is be a little more accepting of what somebody other, like if somebody else is giving an opinion, we could accept it with a little bit more softness involved. I think that will work better for you in the future debates. But really good work done for sure. So, and I'd like to say that both of you have pretty equivalent speaking skills. So it was a very good balance. Like if you've selected your partners by yourselves, you make a good team is what I'd like to suggest. So you can appear for further debate competitions together.
We did pick a team together. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, great inputs, ma'am. It will be very beneficial as for future competitions. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
For Husna and Ifra.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'd like to say that Husna and Ifra, I think Ifra is, yeah, I was right about it. Okay. So Ifra, I'd like to say that I noticed that you are very opinionated again. So you express your opinion with a lot of enthusiasm involved. But I'll also say that at some points you were contradicting your own point. So if you said point a few sentences later, I think you got juggled between your own sentences and you were contradicting your own opinion, which will not work really well for debate competitions, right? So I would suggest in future when you encounter any such competitions, stick to your point, even if it is not the right point. But debates are all about sticking to your point to the core. Okay. And for Husna, I would say that I want more. I want you to interact further. I could hear only a little bit of you in this 1.5 hour session. So maybe involving yourself even more during the debate will help your team further. Yeah, that was that. I
Thank
hope
you,
this
Dr.
works out for
Janvi.
all of you and helps you in some ways.
Thank you for valuable inputs, ma'am.
That is golden advice coming from a professional communication coach. Will definitely help you in future competitions and in your journey forward as a speaker. Dr. Sarosa, please, your opinions and a few tips for the participants.
Thank you so much. It's very nicely said by Dr. Chanvi ma'am. Okay, so like I'll start with team A, B, and C. I'll just say about team A first. Okay, so Husna and Ifra, there was good coordination. I can see that. I could see Ifra was jumping in when needed. Husna was needing that support. Okay, there was a teamwork which was visible between you two. So there is coordination. That's a positive that you can take from here. And there's a lot of learning, okay, to be more present with the question and answering only to the point which was asked, okay, that you can take on from here. Okay, for team B, Jayant and Ashray, okay, I see wonderful, really great chemistry between you two as a team. Okay, you're like one, like it's like talking to one person there. So, and all I can see the lights not there, and still you are managing everything to be there, and the lights you're arranging, and in the session fully with all the hardship, and you're making it work. I see that you keep finding solutions there. So really good work there, being one and answering questions also. Okay, so good work. Team C, Aslan and Abdullah. Really, I'm really surprised. I'm really like you both are in different places, right?
Yeah.
Aslan and Masood,
Mm.
not in the same room, right?
No.
And you are in one team, so like it's very interesting to see that, like Aslan is saying, like, let me take a minute, is you're seeing who will answer, is it Masood or me? Okay, you're still coordinating. Okay, it's very interesting on Zoom. First time I'm seeing this, the coordinations have happening. You both are one team in different places, and still you're making it work. Okay, it's amazing. Aslan, you're totally present in the session. I see your presence is there, and you are answering to the point. Okay, you like, it's like the answer is like, okay, after that there's no need for further questioning, like it's like that. So in Masood, yes, you're almost there. Okay, you're a big support for Aslan. I see you're pitching first. Okay, you are taking that risk. Okay, I'll go and answer this. I'll answer this question, like that. You're taking that risk, and very courageous of you. So good teamwork I see between all the three teams. Wonderful debate here. So congratulations to all three of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Really helpful, Dr.
you, sir.
Sarosa. Definitely, you guys have to implement and try this out in the next debate that you go for. It would really help you. Dr. Isra, would you like to add something?
Thank you, but I don't think I need to give any inputs because already Sarosh sir and Janvi ma'am made pretty evident points, and I'm glad to see that how people are coordinating really well. But I would say one thing, that I have one favorite team, and that is Team B, because I could see a lot of positive points from Team B. They were coordinating really well. They know what to speak and when to speak, and the information was pretty much accurate. I see. The most attracting part about them speaking was they were very convincing. So if they were even on the wrong side or the right side, they were very convincing of their points. So if the listeners would be very attentive to their details, even if they don't want to listen, they were pretty much grabbing the attention. So that was very good on Team B's side. And all the best to everyone. May the best team win.
Amazing, amazing.
Thank you, ma'am.
One thing that I noticed personally is just look at your own partner. Just observe your own partner of how they are taking up your questions or they're giving answers. I really found this debate to be kind of a yin and yang between the participants in the teams. So Jayant and Ashray, very different way of approaching. Aslan and Masood, even Husna and Ifra, all of you, you had a very different way. If you just observe your more partner and try to inculcate a few of their positive points or a few points that you've seen from your competitors today, you guys would be really excellent debaters and orators. You guys already have immense potential, and we are so happy that you took your time to participate today, and so thankful and grateful for the judges and the creative team for organizing this debate. It was such a delight. I would like Sahiti to take over a few words and we can go with the results. Thank you so much.
Okay, and first of all, the judges, I must say that you have put the creative team in a lot of confusion because all the scores were very near and we were like confused to just announce the winner. And I'll just not take much of your time and I'll just go with the announcing of winners. Since all of you made to the finals, everyone are winners for us, but all of you won with very close marks. So the team on the third place would be Team A, Husna and Fatima. Husna and Ifra. Congratulations, guys. And the team on second place is Team C, Aslan and Masood. Congratulations. And coming to the team that stood first is Satya Ashray and Jen, Team B. Congratulations to you too.
Thank you, ma'am.
Congratulations, Team B.
I would like to say that it was a very
Team C.
great experience for us. A great experience to us. We had many things to learn from Aslan and Masood as well as from Husna and Irfa. This is very a great cherishing experience in my life, and I would surely, take the teachings of this session with me. Thank you, sir.
That's so
I
good.
just have to say thank you.
So nice of you.
UANC, you guys did really amazing as well. Some of the points that you had brought forward, we couldn't even think or imagine those points, and the way you were delivering them, it was simply amazing. Such a close competition. Again, you all three of you are winners, first, second, and third, and we really enjoyed hearing you guys. So, is there anything that you'd like to add from your end?
We thank you for giving us a platform so that we could participate in debates. We are thankful to the organization that has conducted this session.
Yes, we are really thankful to the organization and as well as the judges for taking their precious time out and then again guiding us. And thank you. Really had a fun time.
Thank you so much, everyone. Masood, you can proceed to give a vote of thanks and we'll wrap this up.
Okay, so I would like to thank all the judges who have taken their time and came here. Like it's been almost 2 hours, and you guys, all of you, just helped us so much with the results. Thank you so much for joining in and accepting our invitation. Uh, Thank you so much, Vasif, for guiding us all throughout. Thank you to the so much creative team, for the amazing coordination that you guys have shown. All the participants, thank you so much for taking out so much time and participating. Yeah, and also the live audience that is watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I will be ending the live now. Okay.
Thank you so much. Props to
Also,
Masood, Sahiti, Surya, Vashu. An amazing job. And the shadow team behind all this who worked in the background to make it possible. Executive members, Sumaya, and even Vinay. And then we also have the digital team, social media team, all of them collaborating to come up with such amazing events. And to see this amount of participation and the quality, it really, justifies all their efforts. Really happy with today. Thank you so much, Masood. We can end this.
okay. Can we just have a quick picture together? Like,
Yeah, sure.
screenshot. I'll just end the live first and then